Hello everybody, my name is Simon Day. I'm the Vice President of Education at Leeds City Toastmasters. The purpose of me creating these videos is to help new and existing Toastmasters members to get to grips with pathways. It was an educational programme that came out in March of this year, 2018, and it's largely based online and it's quite exciting and new, but there are a lot of transitionary things from perhaps the old educational pathway if you're familiar with those. So whether you're brand new to the club and to Toastmasters, and whether you're an existing member looking to make the transition, hopefully this video will help you get introduced to pathways. And I'm planning in this video to introduce you to the 10 paths and show you how to get started in choosing your first path. Should you have any questions at the end of the video, please do leave them in the comment section and I will try my best to resolve those in future installments. But for now, let's get introduced to pathways. So here you've got the Toastmasters International homepage. So you need to go in your internet browser to www.toastmasters.org. You will see here that it opens up the Toastmasters International homepage. You will need to log in. You should have received a login username and password when you joined Toastmasters. Generally speaking, the username is your email address that you registered with and the password you will have chosen. However, if you are struggling to log in, please do contact the Vice President for Education at your club, who should be able to assist. What I will say here is that I've logged in because it says Welcome Simon at the top of the page, and so this is the home page that appears when you have logged in. So what I'd like to show you first of all is a little bit about pathways. So if you click on the second tab here, which says Pathways, and for now let's just click on Learn More. What this will show you is a little bit of information about how Pathways was introduced. So there's an introductory video here, and here you've got the 10 paths that you can choose from. Let's just quickly go down and show you here that there are 4 or 5 additional videos that you can watch as well. Well worth a look, just to give you a little bit more information about pathways and how it began. But here are the 10 paths now that you have available to choose from. So you've got dynamic leadership, effective coaching, innovative planning, leadership development, motivational strategies, persuasive influence, presentation mastery, strategic relationships, team collaboration, and visionary communication. So what you can do is look at those 10 paths and think, well, which of the 10 am I interested in? Which one rings a bell with me? Personally, I chose persuasive influence as my first path. So as a demonstration, I'll just click on that for you just to show you what it says. So you've got here a little bit of information about each of the paths, and down at the bottom it shows you each of the 5 levels that you go through to complete a path. All 10 paths are the same in the sense that they have 5 levels. And you look at level 1, you've got an icebreaker speech, some evaluation and feedback, and a little bit of research for level 1. Quite similar across all of the paths, I would say, is level 1, but it becomes increasingly more specialised as you go through the 5 levels. So well worth just clicking on a few of the paths that you might be interested in and reading this information that you see here and think, is that path for me? So you can get a little bit of overview, but Pathways also gives you an opportunity to really get started with the assessment. Not a scary thing. What you do is you click on the Pathways button at the top again and you go to Take the Assessment. Click on this and it will take you through to a page. Don't worry about the dollars and things. Just scroll down to where it says Take Your Assessment. So you click on that, and what it will do for you is open up another window, and it will start to give you some statements. What you need to do obviously first is pick your language, so you scroll down. For me, obviously that's English, and we click Start. This is really useful, I find, in getting an overview of some of the things that you're interested in and getting a bit narrower in terms of the particular paths that might be useful for you. So here you've got this statement. Select 3 topics you are interested in learning about. So you look at the list, and I'll just click 3 that I'm interested in, so public speaking, leadership, and motivating others. Those are 3 that I think I'm interested in, so I click those and then I click Next. Which of the following topics is most related to the personal and professional goals that brought you to Toastmasters? I would say public speaking on that front, and click next. Learning about something will help me significantly in my personal and or professional life. I work with people quite a lot, so I'm going to click motivating others. You might have your own ideas, that's fine. Click next. What you'll get at this point, and for the rest of the assessment, you'll see we've got 11% done at the top here. You'll get a series of statements. What you've got to decide is how much you agree or disagree with these statements. So here's the first example. I show my involvement in conversation both non-verbally and verbally. So when somebody's speaking, do I use body language and verbal communication to show that I'm involved in that conversation? So you've got to decide which of those that you are. So I'll just click unsure for now. I mean, you might have other ideas, but you decide on what you're agreeing with in terms of that statement, and then you click next. All of the succeeding statements will have you agree or disagree with them for the rest of the assessment. Go on your personal feelings, don't overanalyze it, just go with a gut reaction, and click next for each one. And then what will happen, at the end of the assessment, you'll be introduced to a web page that looks like this. So you'll conclude the assessment, and this web page will come up, and it says here recommended paths. The first three are the 3 paths here at the top that have been recommended for you. So based on the answers that I quickly gave earlier on, dynamic leadership, effective coaching, and innovative planning. I can look at those 3 paths, I can read through this information, and I can think, do any of those paths really say anything to me that I'd like to do that path? If so, then choose it. If not, don't worry, you're not limited to the 3 paths. You can choose from any of the 10. So you can keep going further down, and the rest of the paths are there anyway, and you can choose any of them. I've chosen persuasive influence as my first path, so that's why it's blanked out there. But you can choose any of those 10. What I would suggest that you do is take this assessment, get a feel for your current and existing skills or concerns as a speaker, choose one of these 10 paths, and the next meeting you go to, speak to a couple of people, probably best to speak to your Vice President of Education, and tell them the path that you have chosen. They will then be able to discuss with you about booking in for your icebreaker speech and some of the things that you need to do in order to prepare for that. In the next video, I will show you how to prepare on this system for your icebreaker speech, everything that you need to get going. But I hope that's been helpful as a first instalment, just to show you some of the paths that you can choose and the assessment that you can take on this system to get you started with Pathways. I hope that's helped. As I mentioned earlier, if you have any questions that I've not resolved so far about this particular topic, do please drop a comment in the section below, and I'll be happy to try and resolve those in future instalments. But I hope that's helped. Thank you for watching, and I hope this helps you get started on your Toastmasters journey with Pathways. Thank you very much.